let's see. We got some Scream drama. Scream. Now the Scream franchise has been around for godly, what, late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. It's been a while. But the Scream franchise has been going, I ain't saying they some $1 billion franchise or nothing crazy like that, but for low budget type of horror movies, they actually do pretty well. And I will say that I was not a big fan. I'll just say I did not like Scream 5. Scream 5 was trash to me. I did not like the whole overdoing of everybody being in on how horror movies worked and all. Like, I thought it went a little too far with it. So I didn't personally care for Scream 5. And then on top of that, when Scream 6 was announced and they said that they were not going to bring back Neve Campbell, like the person that's literally been carrying your franchise from the beginning, y'all not going to bring back Sydney? Are you crazy? Because apparently, according to her, she didn't feel like she was being paid her value, and maybe the producers were like, nah, you asking for too much, even though she's been the face of the franchise, but whatever. So they've moved on, right? They went on with different actresses. We saw Jenna Ortega from Wednesday playing, and then we saw also Melissa Barrera. She also started to step up and become like one of the other leads. Now, they were okay in Scream 5. They were okay. And I will admit, I have not seen Scream 6 yet. So please, no spoilers. I have not seen Scream 6. I've heard that Scream 6 is good. I'll see it eventually, and maybe I can form my opinion at that point. So I have no opinion on the future of it beyond that, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know what has happened recently outside of the movies, and that involves the Scream star Melissa Barrera. Now, let me just say, I do not get into political stuff. I do not that's just not what I do here. That's not to say I don't have opinions. It just means that that's just not the space I've created with y'all and this audience, right? Now, if it does intersect with the movies, okay, that's different. We could talk about that. But some stuff I'm just not going to touch, especially if I'm not well informed about it, right? I try to speak on things I know, and I'm gonna be humble if I don't know, and I ain't gonna talk about it. So when it comes to like the whole war in the Middle East with Israel, Palestine, Hamas, and all of that stuff, man, listen, I'm hands off with all of that stuff. At the end of the day, I'm a pacifist. I promote peace, non-violence. You know what I'm saying? So whatever goals get to that point, that's what I promote. So, I don't know nothing about the political stuff. I ain't gonna comment on none of that, right? Now, with that said, other people have felt differently, right? And that includes Melissa Barrera, because she's been online speaking her mind about what's been going on in the Middle East. And because of that, they dropped her. So the folks at Scream, Spyglass Studios, they dropped her, one of their leads, from their movie after her social media posts. Here's what she ended up saying on one of her posts. Gaza is currently being treated like a concentration camp, cornering everyone together with nowhere to go, no electricity, no water. People have learned nothing from our histories. And just like our histories, people are still silently watching it all happen. This is genocide and ethnic cleansing. Now, Spyglass has countered and said their stance is unequivocally clear. We have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism or the incitement of hate in any form, including false references to genocide, ethnic cleansing, Holocaust distortion, or anything that flagrantly crosses the line into hate speech. Now, the director. Let me just say this first. I have not seen, and again, I'm not an expert on this at all. I don't know. So I'm admitting to my own ignorance. I did not see how that incited hate or anything of that nature, right? Um, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I don't see where Spyglass is coming from with their side of things. Because it doesn't sound like that's what she was saying. Um, Personally, one thing that, because we've seen bad posts, right? We've seen people say very, very like out of pocket things. I don't know if there was enough in this one post that would warrant we gonna fire you. To me, in my opinion, when it comes to firing somebody, I think that you need to have a conversation first, maybe, because it doesn't even sound like they had a conversation with her. It doesn't even sound like they was like, oh, okay, yo, can you take your post down, or maybe can we like restructure it? Like, it doesn't sound. It sounded like she posted and then boom, they just dropped her. Now, to be fair, Spyglass has every right to fire whoever they want. They don't have to associate with her. The same way she has every right to say whatever she feels because she has the right to do so. They have the right to be like, we don't want to be a part of that. We don't want that. My only thing is, I think that it would just be a fair courtesy to at least have that conversation or maybe an understanding with people that you work with about, hey, here's our policies and here's what we would prefer you don't speak about or speak about. And again, you can choose to accept it or you can choose not to, but it just doesn't sound like they had that conversation. And it sounded like also she had been posting stuff um uh since October. So if she's been posting stuff since October, have y'all had talks with her since then? Because clearly she's been making herself, making her feelings known at that point. So if she's been doing this since then, have y'all had some meetings? Have y'all had some conversations? Be like, hey, if you're gonna post, that's cool, but like just don't say this or just don't go there. If you do, we might have to part ways. At least then you put the ball in her court. And if she crosses that line, cool, then that's on her. But right now, I don't know. This kind of feels a little messy. It feels a little messy because first, y'all got rid of Neve Campbell, the face of your franchise, and now you getting rid of the next girl that basically was set up to be the lead in the franchise. Like you just fired her. So this has gotten so bad that even the director was catching flack because people, I guess, for whatever reason, Christopher Landon, some people were coming at him as well because he's part of the studio, I guess, and he was like, "Yo, this is my statement. Everything sucks. Stop yelling. This was not my decision to make." And then he later deleted the post. Oh, that's funny. My man said, "Yo, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it." He was like, "Leave me out of this. I don't know. No, not me. Not me. I ain't do it. That's on them." So shout out to him, by the way, staying clear. Just hey, they made that choice. Let people know. Let them know. But we do have her, she did have a statement right after, and she spoke out and she said, "First and foremost, I condemn anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I condemn hate and prejudice of any kind against any group of people." She also continues to say, "As a Latina and proud Mexicana, I feel the responsibility of having a platform that allows me the privilege of being heard, and therefore I have tried to use it to raise awareness about issues I care about and to lend my voice to those in need. Every person on this earth, regardless of religion, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status, deserves equal human rights, dignity, and of course, freedom." I can't disagree with anything she just said. I mean, that sounds as safe as you can get with it. Now again, based off of her comment, like after, that's where I'm kind of thinking, was there a miscommunication? Is the studio reacting to maybe a couple people's reactions online? Because sometimes they'll read like 3 or 4 things and be like, "Uh-oh, it's trending. It's got to be bad," and then automatically just jump ship. It kind of reminds me of when Disney, not Marvel, when Disney fired James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy because somebody else wanted to bring up stuff that James Gunn did in the past that, by the way, James Gunn had been apologized for and never repeated. But because Disney saw that news, they was like, he's fired. No conversation. They didn't even go talk to Marvel about it. They just fired him off the cuff like that. I'm getting similar vibes with this right here, to the point where even the director, like, yo, I didn't even had nothing to do with this. Like, so clearly this came from up top somewhere. But to make matters even worse, first you don't want to bring back Neve Campbell, then you lose your main actress, and now guess what? Jenna Ortega is also leaving, but it's not because of that. She got other things going on. But it says here that it has been revealed that Jenna Ortega will also not be returning. Sources insist that Ortega's departure has nothing to do with Barrera's firing, which occurred after she made dozens of social media posts referring to the Israel-Hamas war. Sources say that Ortega's representatives informed Spyglass prior to the actor strike that the actress would not be returning. Multiple sources say the actress either had no deal or, in the renegotiating of her option, asked what the movie company deemed was too much money. Okay, so it seems like we're having a pattern here with this studio where not only are they ready to just get rid of folks, but if that's true, so y'all didn't want to pay Neve and now you didn't want to pay Jenna. First of all, Jenna is probably way more popular now because of Wednesday. And you need somebody that can bring the younger generations that didn't grow up with Scream. You need somebody that's recognizable like that to put butts in seats. Again, Scream is not $1 billion crazy, per movie franchise. It's one of those movies, I don't know, they make what, 200 million, 300, if that, but they keep the budgets low, so that's why they can keep going. But you getting rid of your name brand actors and the actor that just came up and your old school actor that basically had the old fans coming in. Now, again, these are not linked. They're not connected or whatever. She already apparently told them that she wasn't coming back anyway. And that was a good move. I'd take Wednesday over Scream 7 too. Yeah, go on and do Wednesday. Go get that Netflix money. That's where the real money reside anyway. But what Scream gonna do? What can you do at this point? You sat here, got rid of all these people. You did all this nonsense. Didn't want to pay folks, firing folks. Well, of course, you got to go back to where the money reside, right? So it says here, after losing Jenna Ortega, Neve Campbell, and Patrick Dempsey, aka Dr. McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy, they're on the wish list. That's right. Look who's coming back. It says here, these include, in terms of the people they want back, Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, the original stars of the series. Campbell appeared in 2022 Scream, but opted not to return over a salary dispute. And producers are keen to see her reclaim her iconic character, Sidney Prescott. Well. What did Thanos say? What did Thanos say? You couldn't endure your failure. And what did it do? It brought you back to me. That's right. Let me get my girl sitting here. Let me get Ned back up here. Look at that. Brought you right back here. Uh-huh. Thought that whole franchise. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah, that's the look she finna get the producers when she come back and say, pay me. Yeah, that money y'all didn't want to pay me before. Pay me now. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. Look at her. She's about to get on the phone with him. I want $1,000,000. I don't care where you get it from. Pay me my $1,000,000. Listen, that's the only thing I think that right now is going to help the Scream franchise. I don't think they can do anything else. What you gonna do? Bring in another random no-face character that nobody knows? And you think people gonna care about that? Ghostface ain't enough. It's not enough to just say, oh, Ghostface is gonna no, anybody can be Ghostface for one. That's not enough. You're gonna have to bring these characters back. So I hope that they do. That karma bit them hard. I do hope they bring Nev back. I think that'll probably be the best move. And yeah, I do feel bad for Melissa as well, because I don't know, but from what I can tell with my uneducated self, it didn't sound like she said anything the way that Spyglass tried to make it seem. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Maybe some of y'all know more about this than I do. How do you feel about Spyglass firing Melissa Barrera? How do you feel about Neve Campbell potentially coming back? Do you think this franchise can survive without Jenna Ortega? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.